everyone! Tonight, we're continuing our discussion of chapters 90 to 92. So let's jump right in and check out the story. Edith felt deeply moved. For the first time in her life, both as Edith and as Choi Soo-na, she received a truly sincere apology. All her life, she had been treated unfairly, ostracized, and even when she was betrayed by her ex, she blamed herself because no one had ever apologized to her. Duke Ludwig once believed Edith was just like her father, a rebel. Without any further investigation, he assumed she was guilty and sentenced her. But because Edith insisted she was innocent, the Duke reconsidered his decision and reviewed her case again, just in case he had overlooked something. And now, not only did he apologize, but he also promised to be more considerate toward Edith as her father-in-law. Thinking Killian would take a long time talking with the Duke, Edith decided to leave first. While sitting alone, she was approached by the knights assigned to protect her, one of whom was Henry, a mercenary who had once helped her during the kidnapping incident. Killian, who had acknowledged Henry's skills from the start, encouraged him to take the knight exam. Henry passed and was appointed as a knight of the Ludwig family, assigned as Edith's personal guard. Edith then asked about the ruby necklace she had given him before. As they talked, Killian watched from a distance, looking jealous. He then approached Edith and told her that he would have to stay in the capital longer to handle some urgent matters, work that was originally Cliff's responsibility. But since Cliff had already left for the border, Killian had to take over. What still bothered Killian, though, was how easily Edith forgave Duke Ludwig. With a gentle smile, Edith explained that she could feel their sincerity, and it wasn't just empty words. During their conversation, Killian also mentioned that Princess Shatarine wanted to meet Edith. Hearing this, Edith was delighted. She had been planning to visit to thank her anyway. At first, she thought they were going for a picnic, but it turned out that Princess Shatarine was already waiting for her in her office. Princess Shatarine greeted Edith enthusiastically and immediately asked for her help in preparing the awards ceremony. Even though all the rebels had been executed, their plans had almost succeeded. Because of this, neighboring countries saw an opportunity and began attacking the borders. To show the empire's stability and authority while solidifying Edith's position as a hero, the awards ceremony had to be held. Since Princess Shatarine had no experience organizing such a large event, she asked for Edith's help. And Edith agreed, as she had no reason to refuse. Princess Shatarine then noticed the personal knight standing close to Edith. Edith introduced him as someone who had once helped her and could be trusted. Meanwhile, at the Sinclair estate, Count Sinclair could only sigh. He was beginning to worry about his family's future. With the Ludwig family now being a major contributor to the imperial court, and Edith being recognized as a hero, Layla's chances of marrying into the Ludwig family were getting slimmer. Demian was frustrated with his father, who spent all his time drinking and gambling while he handled the family's affairs. But at least he enjoyed having complete control over House Sinclair. To turn things around, he planned to build connections with envoys from other nations attending the awards ceremony. He knew that while the Ludwig family had achieved military success, their reputation outside the empire wasn't great, unlike the Sinclair family, which focused on trade. When Layla learned that Edith was involved in organizing the event, she was furious. She knew her brother wouldn't help her this time, but she wasn't willing to give up. She was still determined to win over Killian. While reading the newspaper, Killian, who had already heard about Edith's upcoming award ceremony, tried to talk to her. But Edith was too busy preparing to go to the palace, leaving no room for Killian to speak. Noticing this, Edith kissed Killian before leaving. Something felt different to Killian, so he confided in Lenon. According to Lenon, maybe Edith was just busy, but Killian felt that wasn't it. Though Edith wasn't avoiding him, her care and attention toward him felt different, almost like the way a friend would. Lenon then asked, "Have you ever actually told her you love her?" Killian froze. He had said many sweet things to Edith, things he thought were the same as saying, "I love you." But then he realized he had never actually said those words. Taking Lenon's advice to heart, Killian was determined to fix this as soon as Edith returned home. Meanwhile, Edith and Princess Shattering were caught up in the hectic preparations for the ceremony. They had to organize the guest list, assign accommodations for the foreign envoys, arrange the seating plan, and prepare the hall for the award ceremony. Seeing how serious Edith was, Princess Shattering suggested they take a break and go horseback riding to clear their minds. As Edith was about to change into her riding clothes, Henry quickly stepped up to escort her. But Princess Shattering stopped him. She pointed out that since they were in the palace, Edith's safety was already assured. She also started noticing how closely Henry watched over Edith, standing a bit too near. Princess Shattering became suspicious. Was it because he was a commoner, unfamiliar with knightly etiquette? Or was it because he wasn't originally from this empire? Exhausted from the day, Edith returned home only to be greeted by Killian, who pulled her into his arms and showered her with kisses. But feeling dirty after horseback riding, Edith tried to push him away, saying she needed to bathe first. Something felt off about Killian, but Edith was too preoccupied with the events of the day. How Princess Shattering had suddenly taken her out riding because someone had upset her, and how Henry had randomly started thinking about the cost of living and... As Edith distanced herself, Killian was reminded of the past, of how Edith used to avoid him the same way. Though many things had changed, he still felt that Edith had never expected anything from him. Seeing Killian sitting there lost in thought, Edith initially assumed he was upset that she had left to take a bath. But then she realized, maybe Killian was still afraid. Afraid that one day, Edith would truly leave him. All right, that's the discussion for this episode. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to this channel. If you have corrections or other opinions, feel free to share them in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.